Hello everybody, welcome to the Stitch Bird's Nest. It is good to have you here today, my little corner of YouTube, sharing with you my whips, my little bit of haul, my progress on how things are going. I've got one project today that I have a fully finished object on. I have another project I've done quite a bit on, which has been really challenging, and yeah, all the stitchy goodness. So let's just jump on in. I have been and I've got some new starts. I'm getting myself confused right from the beginning. Never a good sign. So, Gingerbread Village Eatoy. Let's pop up a picture. So, I've been really struggling with this one. I just don't know. Like, right from the beginning, I suppose some projects are easier than others, but I've been just struggling to get in the vibe with it, and it's just not getting better. I just don't even know how to get through this, because I have to do 4 of these sides. This is where I'm at, and I added in all this green tree and snow bit here, over here, so you can see my face. And yeah, like obviously it comes up into a tree. The tree's got 4 sides, so I have to do 4 of these. I'm struggling to get through 1. Usually I can kind of just get through it, and like I like how Caroline from 3 Gremlins and other people say it's kind of like just eat your vegetables. So it's like just do the stuff you don't like and just kind of get it done. And usually I'll be like, okay, I just got to do like 3 a day or a couple of days a week, and I just plod on. And even that, like, I'm really struggling. But I started a stitch along for this, and I feel that I should be really getting on with it, but to be honest, like, I don't feel like anyone in the stitch along really came into it intending to get it done. I think everyone just came into it, got the discounted pattern, and that's kind of where they started. So yeah, it's kind of a tough one. So I'm just trying to I want to get it done by November, so that then I can do the construction, put it all together, and have it under my Christmas tree in December and be proud of it. But it's going to be a slog. Maybe it'll be one of those projects where I just have to, you know how exams, how you meant to study, like all the time in the lead up. I was a cram studier, so maybe this is a project I'm going to have to cram study for to get it done. I was a great cram studier though. I used to cram study for a week before my exams and pass, which is much to some of my friends' annoyance. So maybe this is what I'll be doing here too. So I don't know. Maybe I need to get together with a few of my friends and just work on it with them, and that's what I do when I'm with them. Work on this so they get it done. Bex, I'm looking at you, and yeah, a few of my other friends too. So Gingerbread Village Eatoy, and that is Victoria Sampler. Did that one. Oh, and it's 28 count opalescent from Country Stitch. They do hand dyeing in New Zealand. So this is gingerbread. Yep. It's very sparkly. I'll put it up close, see if you can get the sparkle. Oh, it just doesn't sparkle. Oh, there we go. Sparkle. It's a little light for what I would consider gingerbread, to be fair, but I think everyone interprets gingerbread differently, so. But it's sparkly. Can't be that bad. Right. Down that goes. Next one. This is one that I did at our Embroiderers Guild regional retreat last year, and we're coming up on the retreat again this year, and I always try and have last year's project done by this year so I can take it back, show the tutor, kind of just have that completion done, show the tutor that it's done, because I feel like tutors see that a lot of people start but don't see a lot of people finish, and I think it's nice for them to see that, you know, you've done it. And occasionally there's a project I start and I think not for me and I don't finish, but if I enjoy it I try and finish. So this was a Heather Constantine project, and she's a New Zealand tutor. She does really cool canvas work stuff and other work and things too, but counted work. So this is just a white linen that I had, an even weave, sorry, and then I used oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the thread. I should have this written down. It's called Jacaranda, and it is, I'm going to pop it down here because I don't want to sit here and try and remember. So I'll pop it down here. I can't show you a picture of the finished one because actually the way she photographed her finished project, it was all white, it was white work, really wasn't a great photo, and it didn't come out great on the photocopy, so it's definitely not going to come out great here, and because it was white work it was really hard to see. But of course mine is not white, mine is anything but. So I'm going to be, if you can see this lovely row of like daisies, they sort of come out and go in the whole way down. So I've got those to do the whole way down, and you can see there's this line across. So where this line is, I've got these to do down here, and I've got this like rectangular section to do down here, and then the daisies the whole way down, possibly across the end. I haven't decided because that's actually not how this project is done. I've actually changed it a bit. This project originally had 3 of these all the way down, and then the same end as this at the other end. But the original project was an etui that kind of folded in 3, and I'm not going to do that because folded etuis I never find useful. Things fall out of them, they annoy me, so I don't want one of those. So I'm doing mine with a flat end, and then I'm actually going to fold it up the other way, so this is all on the outside and looks nice, and make it into a zippered pouch, and then this bit is going to fold down over the pouch like a like an envelope cover. So that will be more useful to me because then I can put things in it with a zipper and it'll be secure, and I'll use it because I wouldn't use a folded etui. So I thought that would be the best way to do it. So yeah. So although it sounds like I've got a lot of stitching to do, it's actually a really quick stitch. So I should zoom through that really. Excuse my threads everywhere. Have I mentioned I'm not a tidy sewer? Anyone who knows me would know this. I have thread nests everywhere. Looking at the back of my project is banned unless you need to look and you don't talk about it. No, unless you are non-judgmental, because you know I believe that it's the front of the work we look at, and if you like a tidy back, that is fine. Personal preference. I don't care about a tidy back, and I sort of believe everyone to their own, really. So I do not. So if you want to see a messy back because it would make you feel great, I will happily show it to you here on Flosstube. But yeah, I just not a tidy stitcher. Sorry. I had a lady at retreat last year when I was stitching this sitting at the table with me, and I had this thread which had come on a skein just sitting in like a little nest because it had come off the skein and got a bit messy, and very silently she sat there, and while we were chatting I noticed, I didn't say anything because she seemed quite peaceful, she tidied it up and gently put it on a bobbin for me, and I said, is that bothering you? And she said, it kind of is. And she said, do you mind? I'm like, not at all. If it's bothering you. And she put it on a bobbin and put it back in my stitching bag for me. And she said, I just like tidy thread. And I said, if it's bothering you, go ahead. I said, actually, that's very nice of you. I said, it doesn't bother me, but if it bothers you. And we had a bit of a laugh about it, you know, just different people, different, you know, things. But I thought it was nice that we could both have a bit of a laugh at ourselves and in our differences. It was quite funny. So yeah. So watch the space, because I hope to have this finished in the next couple of weeks. And I'll show it to you. Right. The next one, and I'll pop the picture of it, the full pattern up here. And then I will pop a picture of where this was up to up here as well, because it's been a while since I've worked on this one. And just because I've had my big bookbinding project I've been working on really take over my life, but I'll catch up on that later. So this is Stitchy Goddess by Tiny Modernist. And this is where I am up to. Look at her face. Her face is going in. She does kind of have the creepy cheeks going on, but I did her face last night, and I stitched her eyes to make sure that they were done, because it was really creepy when there was no eyes going on, no eyes there. So I made sure I stitched those before I went to bed. But her eyes really are quite beautiful. I don't know if you can see the colour, but they're like a deep blue. It's hard to get it to focus, eh? They're like a deep blue, but check out her, check out the colour of her hair. Oh my gosh, it's just like a flame against that blue. This fabric is one, it's I think it's about a 32 count, because this is one of like D-Stash Table. It was a D-Stash white, and I dyed it myself, which I covered on a previous video. So I don't know exactly, but looking at it, and I don't even remember if I took a ruler to it. It'd be 32 to 36 count, I'm guessing. Yeah, but I mean, that hair is going to be so stunning, because of course in the picture, you know, it really flows around her and down into this dress. So I was so buzzed when I got that piece of hair done. So I'm super psyched to get stitching into this again. Yeah, so nice. And I've got that nice big empty patch for when I need a bit of mindless stitching. I'll just fill in the white as I go. But yeah, that hair, so pretty. Loving it. What is there to say? Actually, there is one thing to say, because I was looking at the mock-up last night on Pattern Keeper, and if you've got this pattern, you'll know this, but if you don't have this pattern, you might not be aware that this pattern comes with two patterns. So they both have the same dress and the same animals, but different skin tones and different hair. So there's this one with the red hair that flows down, and then there's another one with a deeper skin tone and beautiful dark hair that kind of is up in like half ponytail, sort of half up and then flowing down. And that one is really stunning as well. And I was looking at it and I was thinking how nice it would look if you switched out the background fabric, instead of blue, made it like a deep pink, and then everything that was kind of pink in this one, because there's a lot of pink up in this background as well that comes in later, switched it all to blue, and like, you know, had them side by side. So yeah, planning ahead really, aren't I? But yeah, if you like Stitchy Goddess but for whatever reason aren't a fan of the really red hair, or I don't know why you wouldn't be, that red hair's amazing, but you know, if you haven't seen it, it's worth looking at the one with the dark hair as well, because my gosh, she's so stunning. I really love her. But yeah, Stitchy Goddess, Tiny Modernist. Okay. My next WIP. I don't know what it is about me and always getting close to the camera. Just gotta lean in. My next one is White Winter Moth. And I've just realised I had started this in the last video, but I did a restart and I was humming and hawing on the fabric, and I did a restart again. So I ended up catching up with a lady I know, Helen, who owns Crafty Kiwi. She's based Crafty Kiwi NZ, based in Hamilton, New Zealand as well. She sells beautiful fabric. May have caught up with her and she had an entire suitcase of fabric, of which I got to rummage through, so that was amazing. And dangerous. So, oh, I've just realised that one of the fabrics I don't have here to show you. I might have to stop the video and grab that in a minute. So I bought some fabric off her. I compared them all to my cottons and chose a new fabric because I just wasn't getting anywhere with that really lovely purple. So yeah, I did a restart. I wasn't getting anywhere. So White Winter Moth, White Winter Moth by, it'll come to me. I don't know why that's Kathy Barrack, right? Honestly, some days, it's like, how do I get dressed and function? It's a mystery. Right. So, I lost the card that Helen gave me telling me what this fabric is. So, I hunted around everywhere for it because I kept it in a really safe place. And that safe place is really, really, really safe. No idea where it is. Check out, I hope the light shows up this fabric. Can you see that? This is my White Winter Moth start. Hang on, gonna need something behind that. We'll just make a racket while I try and work it out. Oh yeah, so it's a mottled kind of stone grey blue. And you can see the white's actually not showing up well on there, but in person it shows up really well. I think it's just the light. But that's my start on White Winter Moth. It's actually got a reasonable way. Oh, there we go. It's showing up a bit better. It's MPI silk, which, I mean, look at the definition of those crosses. I'm doing 2/2 because I did 2/1 and it wasn't giving me that nice fill. It was just too, yeah, it just wasn't doing it for me. If I go out, you can see how dappled that fabric is. I'll try and get the name for it. I think it was from Bestitch Me, but yeah, that fabric's so stunning. It's in person, it's like a bluish grey. And I'll just get the threads. These are my threads. I'm trying to hold like everything at once. I feel like I need all the hands. You can see how they all sit pretty well on there. I think what's interesting is this white looks like it goes fairly well with that background fabric in this light, but actually if you try and stitch with it, it disappears. You can't even see it at all. And so I actually had to swap to this yellowish white, which actually shows up really well, and creates a really nice strong contrast. But yeah, if you put this one on, it's like you can't see it at all. But yeah, so that's going pretty well. So that is oh there, that's getting it better. White winter moth. You can't tell when that's stitched up that it actually looks yellow. That white just looks white. So that shouldn't be a super long project. It's sort of coming together quite quickly. This fabric is just beautiful. It's 32 count, and the mottling is just really nice. Never used to like mottled fabric. I always used to think, why, you know, just now I know, just adds a whole new dimension. Yeah, so that's looking really good. Then my last WIP, but don't worry, there's new starts. Of course there's new starts. My last WIP and the most time consuming WIP, if you've been watching, is the bookbinding project. Pop a picture up here. Is the bookbinding project with Marie Talbot. So this has been just an ongoing, such a big project. I've been working on this for months now, and in the last 3 weeks I've spent from 9 to 1 each day, just solid, and then spending bits and pieces throughout the day and evening on it. It was stressful towards the end. I didn't 100% finish it. I made the choice towards the end to stop because I didn't want to rush it and focus on finishing, because I had the the front cover, the back cover and the spine, and looking at what we had to do, I knew that if I didn't finish one of the covers, it wasn't going to matter because we wouldn't get through that in the weekend. And so I focused on finishing one cover entirely and the spine. So on the weekend we had 2 days. The first day was learning how to bind a book. So we did a little practice book, and I've just realized I don't have my practice book. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. So I went and got my practice book. So this is my little practice book, and yeah, I'm glad it was a practice book because I did this is the binding we were learning. Yeah, you can kind of see that. Yeah. Mine was way too loose, and I think it's just maybe trial and error a bit to learn that, because if I open it up, you'll see, yeah, you can see it there, the big gaps. But you know, that's the whole point, right? Practice. So so we had to learn to, she did have the paper cut for us. She just wanted to save time because we had a lot to do this weekend. But we had to punch all the holes, and then did all the pasting and things of the board and the book, covers and the marble, and then obviously the stitching was the main bit we were there to learn. I found this surprisingly hard, and I need to just have a look on YouTube at it again, because I just, you know, sometimes I think just look at maybe another way it was taught might help me. I don't know. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes that helps, doesn't it? So, I'm not entirely sure why it was that I had so much trouble picking this up, but I really did. It was a challenging weekend. And then I've got, oh, where have I put it? The piece, oh, here it is, sorry, it just dropped on the ground. And so this is, this is the one that goes in my actual embroidered book. So this isn't finished because I made an error and I had to undo it. So, and as it is, yeah, so the pages I had to undo. As it is, I'm going to probably start again because my first 2 pages in and I have a gap. And looking at the gap, it's a little loose, but the main problem is that the knotting I did for the binding is right in between those pages, so there's no way it can be any closer. So I'm a bit frustrated, but yeah, I've got all this lacing. That's the marbled paper, which is pretty amazing. So that's like for the inside covers of the book and stuff. This will be, yeah, the size, and you'll see here's my embroidery. So this is the back cover, and it's just got all the pins up. There we go. So that's the finished piece. Finished as in the embroidery is all finished, obviously. It's got all those pins in because I've been lacing it. I could probably take all those pins out now, but I'll just double check my lacing before I do that. So that is embroidered, gold worked, pearled, sequined within an inch of its life. Yeah, if I tilt it, I mean, it just sparkles. It is stunning. And then the pins are in, and that was to hold it securely in place while it was put on this block and laced at the back. Just see if I can get the light working. Just doesn't want to show you that lacing, does it? Best way to do that is, oh, there we go. There's my lacing. So from top to bottom, over and over and over, increasingly pulling and adjusting the tension, and then same side to side to side, increasing the tension all the way, so that when these pins come out, this will be bound nice and tight. So that's the back cover. The front cover is identical. The only reason this is the back cover is because when I started, when I did my first snail, I did it on the back. When I did my first flower, I did it on the back. You know, so that hopefully the front ones are all just that little bit better. That's the only reason there's a front and the back. And that's why I did it that way. So yeah. So I'm stoked. I mean, I'm really happy with this. I think this turned out really, really well. But I will tell you, you're probably looking at this and thinking this turned out pretty well, I'm guessing. Mine was probably the most amateurish one there. And I say this because when you look closely, you can see the overstitches and you can see all the little imperfections. And when I walked around the room and looked at a lot of the other embroiderers' work, it was just insane. The level of expertise and precision in that room was amazing. And I don't say that in any way to degrade my work. I say that with great admiration for the skill in that room, you know, like awe-inspiring stuff, you know, it just blew me away. And, you know, props to them. They've got the years behind them and the experience and the patience to be really precise. I don't have a lot of patience to be really precise. This was really precise, and it was hard going for me because it's not my usual thing. So I'm stoked with what I've done, and I'm really, really, really happy with it. But oh my gosh, I thought many times during the process, if something happened to it and it got spilt on, I'm never doing another one. So yeah, so that's the bookbinding project. Oh, I say this to you, and then I didn't even show you the spine, which I've got here, and is really lovely. Sorry, excuse a little bit of crinkling. I forgot to get it out of the bag. So the spine, I've still got some lacing to do on this, but sorry, there's threads all around this one because I'm still working on this. How pretty is that? Love those butterflies. And I just put my initials and the year down there. As tiny as I could. It was really tricky to fit it in. Yeah. So, bookbinding project, by Marie Talbot. An amazing embroiderer from Australia. If you haven't heard about her, you should look up her website and see the kind of stuff she does, because it's mind-blowing. You know, she's such an amazing embroiderer, an amazing tutor, really lovely lady. She has the patience of a saint. She was just there the whole weekend. She was willing to help me. She could tell I was struggling and just kept on coming back. You know, no frustration, no, she just kept on giving me everything I needed, you know, and I think a lesser person would have been a little frustrated with me, but no, it's amazing. So that was cool. Alright, my next one, a bit more cross stitch. I'm sure some of you are probably wondering a little, because obviously most people, it's mostly cross stitch, and for me it's usually mostly cross stitch, but I do have a bit of other stuff today. So yeah, this was a new start, and oh my gosh, it's adorable. It is. And I did talk about this last time, but I've actually started. It is the Be Contained Etui by Betsy Morgan, and this is out of the book Willing Hands 2 from Inspiration Studios. I mean, super adorable. I love bee stuff. I can't wait to make all the tiny bees. So, in a previous video, those who've seen it would have seen I did a onion dyeing of my fabric and the stuff. So that's the fabric I'm using, again off the stash table, de-stash table. And then this only uses two colours. It uses like a yellow and a black. So I just went into my stash, pulled out the black, and went looking at all the yellows I had and found one that I liked. So I ended up with DMC 783, which I thought just looked like golden honey. And I've got that and black, and I've done those gorgeous beehives running up each side, and then yeah, I've got the little beehive in the middle in black. So yeah, again, not a huge start, but ticking away. That beehive has lots of, the pattern's really tiny, so like you'll be going up quarter of a stitch, and yeah, like not quarter of a stitch, like because it's over 2, you'll be going across one thread here and one thread there, and yeah, but it just makes it fiddly to see I only need to have the pattern blown up so I can see it a bit easier, but it's adorable with beautiful runny honey colour and black, and it looks so adorable as a little container. I love it. And the other one I got on with, and I did talk about last time too, is Flo the Fairy Penguin. Adorable again. And this one this is by Carolyn Stanton, and it's out of the Inspirations magazine, and I just borrowed this from Guild. How cool is that? So I bought the sticky the stick and stitch, printed it out in my, like I mentioned in my last video, printed it out in my printer, stuck it on the felt. This felt is just the navy merino from Felt Factory nz.co.nz. It feels so nice. And then I went into Stash, and you just stitch over the top of the lines, and then when you're done with it, you give it a good wash, and it just dissolves. Works so well. I've used it on a few different projects, and it's so good. You just don't even have to think about what you're doing. Yeah. That thread is going to look so good. So my Stash thread, I had this gorgeous, I've heard people talk about it. Is it Karen Water Lilies or something like that? But it's like, remember I said light messy thread? Blues and teals and purples. It's my variegated, and I just paired it up with a couple of pearl blues, and got a little bit of green. I'm just going to pop a little bit of green in there just to give it a little pop of contrast. Yeah, my messy thread bundle. So I think that is all my projects. I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm looking at them and I'm thinking I'm not. So let me just check under there. No, got everything. Okay, well, I think it's everything. So I've got a little bit of haul, but not massive amounts. Got a few events coming up, so I try not to buy too much. I did buy some more fabric because when I saw Helen with her giant suitcase of fabric, I was like, surely I can't buy one. I did, but I only stretched to 2 because I was trying to be good, and I may have already bought another piece of fabric online that was on its way. So yeah, so I bought this piece of fabric, this beautiful blue kind of speckle. So nice. So, and again, no idea what that piece of paper is. I will ask Helen, and if she remembers, I'll pop it down here. Otherwise, you just get the nice hand sweep for no reason. And this one has it stapled on it, so we know this is fibre on a whim. 32 count Belfast linen in hibiscus, and it is this beautiful, it's getting made lighter, but oh, there we go, it's better. Hibiscus fibre on a whim. It's kind of an orangey terracotta, I would almost say. Yeah, it's getting made lighter by the light. Try and, nope, worse. Better. That's better. A little bit darker over this side. This is more true. There we go. That's more true. Because I do have a reasonable array of colours in my stash, but I have nothing like this. So that I really wanted a piece, because when I was looking for something for that white winter moth, I really actually wanted something similar to this, and I had nothing. So yeah, it was kind of a gap filler a little bit, options, and the blue was just because. And the hibiscus fabric ended up, I ended up buying that because I wanted a pattern from 123 Stitch, and I remember what everyone tells me, which is patterns can't travel alone, or threads can't travel alone, and so that's why I had to buy the fabric, because it's true. The pattern that I bought is Cardinal Kin. Maybe the bird's called Kim. It's a good enough name for a cardinal. Kim. Cardinal Kin from Plum Street Samplers. Samplers, yes. Cardinal Kin. And I saw this on Katie Strachan's Flosstube, and she did the most beautiful version with the dark blue and 4 red cardinals. Now, I loved it, and she does do a kit, but getting a kit to New Zealand, like anywhere, is always going to be really expensive, and I have a lot of the things to make it anyway, so it just didn't make sense for me to be buying a kit and shipping it all the way here. So I'll probably do something similar, but I highly recommend watching her videos and yeah, checking out her shop, because she has some really neat stuff. But Cardinal Kin, and I did pick up some Ave Soir in this rich red, because it didn't have a rich red. I've sort of got green and a lighter red, but I wanted a nice rich. So it really would have been lonely for just the two of them in that postal bag. So they were nestled in a nice bed of fabric, just so they felt, you know, comforted. Anyway, that is not on my haul. 2 more things. I was at Farmers yesterday, which, if you're in New Zealand, you know is like a multi-purpose shop. If you're out of New Zealand, it might seem very bizarre that we go to a shop called Farmers to buy clothes and makeup and stuff, but we do. And they had all the giftware out and stuff for Christmas, and I got totally waylaid by these little gift bags that came with moisturizer in them, and it was buy one get one half price, and look what they had. I mean, check this out. Is anyone thinking what I'm thinking? Because I took one look at it and was like, 1, that's amazing. 2, I touched it and it's velvet. 3, little thread bag for my thread and scissors. Plus I like hand cream, and it sounded, it was, yeah. So I was like, okay, I think they were $20, right? And then right next to them was this adorable book, okay, and it's magnetized. It opens up and there's hand cream in it. I like hand cream, but you know, not hand cream, soap. It calls it guest soap. I'm like, do we do that these days. Guess soap. Anyway, magnetized book, same thing. Craft supplies, magnetized book, amazing. Buy one, get one half price. So again, it seems sad to buy one and not the other. I think they're about half the same price. So I did that. And I thought with those little soaps, which are really pretty, wrapped up in their little William Morris paper, because I hummed and hawed. I was like, I'll just give one out to friends or something. And then I thought, no, I'm actually going to put them in. I'm going to donate them to the Salvation Army when they do their Christmas appeal, because actually really nice soaps are things that people would appreciate and things, whereas I'm sure a lot of us get given things like soaps and stuff like that and we're like, oh yeah, that's nice, another soap. But actually that could be really useful for Salvation Army to get a nice fancy wrapped soap. So the only thing I will say about this book, and I did not realise when I bought it that this was not a sticker, so I was gutted, because the rest, there was other things on here but they were all stickers. The back does have a sticker on, which is quite hard to get off, but I am getting it off. But this is not a sticker, so be warned if you get it. I've got to try and come up with something that will cover up this guest soap symbol, because yeah, that was a bit gutted when I realised that. Right, and my fully finished object, which has got a little bit wrinkled under my whips sitting here, but just flatten him out nicely, is, ta-da, my holiday ostrich from the Blue Flower. So he was in my little cross stitch one I did a little while back, and I have made him into like a little Christmas tag. So I backed him with a bit of just red spotty fabric, and I've put this nice little pom-pom on the edge. I have done a little buttonhole stitch up here. I made a hole with the stiletto before I did the buttonhole stitch, and the hole went the whole way through, and then I did the buttonhole stitch to make it permanent and secure, and then I just threaded through this cute little striped thread. So ta-da! But yeah, I thought he was rather nice. A friend made the suggestion that I make him into a tag that hangs rather than a pillow, because it's a bit more versatile. I could hang him on the tree, I could hang him on the door, I can move him around, and that made me really happy to think that the ostrich can go everywhere. It's like I can move the ostrich around the house and enjoy the happiness that the ostrich will bring me everywhere. So yeah, because he just makes me so happy, and I think he's amazing. So yes, everyone gets to enjoy the ostrich happiness. Yeah, so really happy with him. He is amazing. Right, so I think the only thing that I have left, let me just double check, is plans and who I have been watching. I'm just gonna, excuse me while I just look down so I can see. So next week, the week after next, is the Quilt Symposium in Hamilton. That's going to be quite a big event, so I'm looking forward to that. Be amazing to see what everyone's made. And Merchant Mall, although I need to go tone it down a bit, so I'll try. And then I'm away in Wellington with a really good friend, and we are at the World Wearable Arts. So her and I have wanted to do this for a long time, and we've made it happen. So really excited about that. And then I'm going on the Friday, and then family's joining me after that, and we're going to have a little holiday, which will be really cool. Really cool, just for a few days, and do some fun family stuff. My daughter has her heart set on a cat cafe visit, and we want to go to Papa, the National Museum, and I'm sure a few other bits and pieces. Oh, the Doctor Who exhibit, the International Doctor Who exhibit apparently is on, so myself and my son and probably my daughter will be really interested in that, and my husband will come. So that should be pretty neat. And then we're back home, and the week after that is Stitch Tui, which is our regional retreat, which is really near home this year, but I'm still going to be staying there because it's kind of not a retreat if I have to come home every night and inevitably get back into the house routine and then get up early and go back and things. So I'm staying out there with my friends and catching up with everyone there. Oh, and I'm doing a class out there, which I'm looking forward to. And who I'm watching, oh my gosh, I watched so much YouTube, Flosstube, while I was doing my bookbinding project. I really enjoyed Michelle from Bendy Stitchy. She does some really good projects, really colourful, bright, fun stuff. Melissa from the Geeky Witch, who I found, and she was just nice to listen, chat away, and she was showing and talking about the New England sampler and some other samplers she's working on. I enjoyed her. Microbiologist Makes, Hannah. I enjoyed listening to her and seeing her projects. She did a beautiful version of the butterfly from the Artsy Housewife that everyone's raving over at the moment, Study in Nature. A lot of people were doing it on red, the butterfly in red, and quite bright, and she changed her colours much more muted on a sort of toned down pinky beige, and she did a really nice job of it. Not my colours, and it was just beautiful. Loved it. So she was great. And then Laura from Butterfly Stitches, I really enjoyed a lot of her projects. I can see that her and I have a lot of project type things in common. Her first project she showed, I think it was Laurie Holt, with the quilt pattern and the little houses and stuff around. I've actually done. She talked about a stitch along called the Quack Along, which is by Star Parade Designs, and it's a Quaker style project. It's called the Quacker because there's lots of duck designs in the Quaker style pattern. It's amazing. I love it. It's on Etsy, Star Parade Designs, and it's like all these ducks and feathers, and yeah, and it's Quaker style, and oh my gosh, so tempted. Yeah, Quack Along. So, oh my gosh, Laura, thank you for another project that is just making me itch with the need to stitch. So I'm kind of like thinking maybe I get stuck in and finish something, and then I'll feel okay about starting the Quack Along, but we'll see. It's my birthday next month, so I'm kind of like, maybe I can just do it anyway. We'll see. I'd feel better if I'd finish something first. So I think that is it. I think that is where I'm up to with everything, and that is all my projects. And yeah, I've got a lot going on, but I'm having so much fun. Oh my gosh, there's so many beautiful things out there. My Etsy wish list is huge, and it's full of such beautiful things. You should see the owls I have on there. I have the most beautiful owls on there at the moment, and oh my gosh, they are really tempting me to. I may like choose one thing for my birthday maybe and go in there and get something, but we'll see. I don't know. How do you... I sometimes feel I need like an immortality potion, not for any other reason, but just so that I can stitch all the things. Anyway, I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. Have a great month. I'm usually back here in about a month, and make sure you're stitching all the things that I can't stitch, because then I'll feel good about that. And make sure you come on and tell me what you're stitching, show me what you're stitching, tell me about your floss tube. I would love to hear from you, and yeah, keep stitching, keep having fun. See you guys next time. Bye.